Alright, figure it's time for another video update of my garden here. Get started on the banana pepper up here. Last time I did a video, there was a larger banana pepper. I've already picked that and eaten that. It's very delicious. Got another one right there. It's, again, making it lean again, really good. See, I've got some other peppers forming on there, so it's starting to finally produce some pods for me. A decent amount. For a while there, I didn't think I was gonna get much of a harvest. Hopefully these will put out a decent amount, and I might actually be able to make some pickled peppers this year. I was beginning to think that wouldn't happen. See, I got a little mushroom action forming there, so good sign that I got good organic material in my soil. Let's see, we'll move on to here. This is the Romy 6 Mystery. It's got a lot of pods formed on it. I don't know if you can see this little guy right here. There's a little spider up there. I don't know. I can't see the display that well to tell if y'all can see it, but quite a few spiders on my plants, so they're definitely helping me out. Everything's looking much greener now, thankfully. Jalapeno. This one's not putting out very big pods, but they look like jalapenos, so whatever. Jalapeno here is fine. This one's a pretty decent sized pod, not huge. I've got some gigantic jalapenos I ordered from Judy at pepperlover.com. I ordered some of those for next year, so hopefully I'll get much bigger jalapenos. Bell pepper, got two pods forming there. They're still very much in their infant stage. You can tell they're not very big right now. Jimmy Nardello, looking pretty good. Got quite a few of them forming now. Look at this one. This one's like completely curled up. Really cool. Got one right there. Looking good. Let's see. We'll move into the supers here. This again is a 7-pot SR Gigantic. Again with only one pod. Pod's still not very big. Not gigantic like you see like you've seen in reviews that I've done and like you see in the photos on Judy's website, but it'll get there, I'm sure. Got a yellow boot. Here's those same 4 pods on it here. This one, I don't know if it's just because it's sitting in the sun or what, but it looks like it might be starting to turn. Getting a few more pods set right here. So it's starting to put out a few more pods for me. Right here we've got, this was the yellow Moruga Scorpion. It only had one pod at the time, and that pod fell off because it looked like there was some sort of worm or something got into it, so the plant aborted it. Here's my Carolina Reaper. It dropped a pod as well because, once again, got a worm in it or something. I don't know, it fell off. But here's some Reaper pods forming. They do seem like they're going to be the true phenotype. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it. This one here. It's kind of shaded out, so it's kind of tough to tell. But they do look like they're going to grow true. This is my other Primo plant. Now this one is actually putting out pods that look more true to form than the ones that I've been picking off my other plant. These look more true. Oh, looky there. I don't know if y'all can see it. This pod right there, it's got a hole in it. Yay! Really got some issues with those worms eating their way through my peppers here. Brain strain is the lone brain strain that I've got on my plants. I've got 2 plants, 1 pod. Not happy about that. Here's the red Moruga Scorpion. This one's got quite a few pods set on it. Don't know how many, I haven't counted them. So I'm waiting on them to ripen up. This is a yellow brain with 0 pods set on it. Plant's getting bigger. Looks nice and greener compared to the last time, but still no pods. Here we got a red boot. This had no pod set on it the last time I did a video, so I'm finally getting some nice looking pottage forming there. Quite a few pods forming now. Looking good. This is my Jonah, and again the Jonah still has 0 pods set. Oh, look, Here's one that I thought might turn into one. Nothing. So definitely not getting any production out of my Jonah. This looks like this flower is going to fall off too. Yep. Bye-bye flower. Not cool, not cool. Alright, so this is a 7-pot brown that I'm worried is a Douglas. I'm afraid that both of my browns are Douglas because, you know, typical shape of a 7-pot brown here, this is probably a better representation of what they're going to turn into. Typical 7-pot browns that I've seen, that I've done reviews on, have more of a almost a brain strain appearance to them. Not quite as pimply, but they're more rounded. These are taking on the shape of a Douglas, which Douglas typically are longer and elongated. So if it turns into a Douglas, I'm not going to be happy, or has that flavor anyway. Let's see what we got here. This is my other red brain, which, as you see, has 0 pods on it. Not happy with the production on those guys. This is my second yellow Moruga scorpion. It's got a decent amount of pods, some pretty good sized ones on there too. You see some more hanging down here. Let's see, I've already showed you the Jimmy. Here's my Nagamorich. Got one pod on here that's ripened. I've pulled off 3 or 4 of these now. This one's starting to ripen, you can tell. So this, again, it's a fairly decent producer for the size that it is, as I expect from Nagamoriches. There's a 7-pot Barakpur. You see I've got a cluster of 3 pods sitting on it. I had 4. The other one, guess what? Had a caterpillar or some type of worm eat a hole in it. Here's my second 7-pot SR Gigantic. Now this one's putting out a pretty good sized pod, pretty hefty. It's still quite not on the level of what I expect out of these, but that is the only pod. Here is my second Primo plant. It's still got a pretty heavy pod set on it. Lots of good sized pods. You see there's a few ripening on there. I've picked a few off of this already, but the pods off of this one aren't quite as true to form of a typical Primo as you would expect out of it. The one that I showed you earlier has much better shapes to them. Here's my second supposedly 7-pot brown. But once again, you see pods aren't very rounded. They're more elongated. So unsure how that's going to turn out. And again, here is a Scotch bonnet that looks just like a plain habanero. I'm still waiting on this guy. This one's been on here for a while. Still waiting on this one to ripen. It still hasn't done anything, but it's putting off quite a few pods. I think it's got about 10 on there, I think. So that's the peppers. I'll give you a shot of the rest of my raised beds here. Again, this is my green beans. As you can still see, I'm battling leaf issues abound, but these guys still continue to just load me down with beans. I mean, I'm just loaded with them. I got to do another picking here in the near future. Oh, look what we got here. Got a caterpillar of some sort. Come here, you. Nope, you come here. Alright, well, I'll pick him off later. I think he just dropped. Oh well, anyway. So yeah, getting ready to do another harvest of green beans on here. Here last video you saw I still had some broccoli plants up. I've now cut them down. I've mulched over. I am trying out Wind Chicken, Gary. Check him out on the hot pepper here. I'm going to try his method of growing next year, which is, it's called ramial chipped wood, which typically you get that from mulching companies and whatnot, but excuse me. But I'm actually using a hardwood mulch like he uses, and he has had excellent results. Basically, you just put hardwood mulch down, you dig it into like the first 2 inches of soil, and then put a nice heavy layer on top of it, and as it breaks down, it will just add all sorts of nutrients and whatnot to your soil.
makes a nice wonderful humus, and basically you don't have to fertilize anymore using it. So I've put it down a nice application here, and as the rest of these plants continue to go out of season, I'll do the same there and basically let it sit over the fall and winter, and hopefully next year I'll have wonderful rich soil. Strawberries, they seem to be a lot happier now that I've cut all that stuff down. Don't see any strawberries sitting on it right now. I picked one off yesterday that had been eaten by a bug of some sort. Got a flower forming there. Still don't expect much out of these this year. Hopefully next year they'll be better. As you see, I'm still battling powdery mildew issues with my zucchini, but they continue to pump them out. I think I picked one off this morning, so it's not, I don't think there's any more going there, but you can see, look down in there, you see one forming, quite a few of them, so they're still producing pretty good. So that's the update for me. Oh yeah, on this side I've also done the mulching as well. I need to dig out a few weeds that have cropped their way in there. But yeah, so that's the updates thus far, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.